We're giving away one free saber with every single saber purchase right now at theorysabers.com.
We would be honored if you would join us.
In Darth Bane: Path of Destruction, one of the most fascinating parts of Bane's rise is his time at the Sith Academy on Korriban. It's here that we get a raw look at how the Brotherhood of Darkness trained their acolytes, and more importantly, how the Academy itself revealed the weaknesses that would eventually drive Bane to destroy the Brotherhood. When Bane first arrives at the Academy, he's not the confident Dark Lord that we picture later in the trilogy. He's still Dez, rough around the edges, powerful with the Force, but unrefined. The Sith Masters at the Academy immediately put him through trials, and his first duel nearly ends in disaster. Yet, what's striking is how the Academy wasn't about cultivating the strongest Sith, it was about weaning out the weak through cruelty, manipulation, and constant betrayal. Karpyshyn writes, "The Academy was a crucible, a place where the weak perished and the strong thrived. Here, survival meant deception as much as strength, treachery as much as skill." That line captures the reality of the Sith system at the time. Students weren't trained to master the Force in harmony with their abilities. They were taught to watch their backs, to betray friends, to kill when opportunities arose. This wasn't the sharpening of blades, it was the dulling of them. Rivalry existed for its own sake, not for growth. For Bane, this environment was both a trial and a revelation. At first, he struggled. His fighting skills were poor compared to veterans like Sirak, a brutal student who dominated the Academy through strength and intimidation. Bane suffered humiliating defeats at Sirak's hands, in fact, and these failures nearly broke him, but they also stripped away any illusions that he might have had. He began to really see the truth, is what I mean. The Academy wasn't producing Sith who understood the code. It was producing Sith who were so caught up in short-term rivalries and, well, lightsaber measuring contests that they had no vision for the future. As Bane reflected, the Sith of Korriban knew only how to claw at one another for scraps. They mistook squabbling for strength, treachery for ambition. This is kind of the seed of the eventual rejection of the Brotherhood's entire philosophy. If the Academy reflected the wider Sith Order, then the Brotherhood wasn't strong at all. It was hollow. Another critical influence on Bane during his time on Korriban was Qasim, the Blademaster. Qasim was unlike any other masters at the Academy. He truly did train his students, imparting skill and knowledge with a degree of discipline. He taught Bane the fundamentals of lightsaber combat, eventually revealing to him every single form, and yet, even Qasim wasn't immune to the Brotherhood's corruption. Bound by loyalty to Lord Khan, he ultimately put the Brotherhood above the purity of Sith strength. This betrayal comes to a head later, once they duel, when Qasim tries to kill Bane on Khan's orders. But even during training, Bane sensed the contradiction. A master teaching the ways of combat, but still beholden to a philosophy that diluted the dark side's essence. The Academy also introduced Bane to the seductive nature of the Sith through characters like Githany. She wasn't just a rival or ally, she embodied the way the Sith blurred lines between intimacy and manipulation. She aligned with Bane at times, betrayed him at others, and constantly tested his resolve. Through her, Bane learned that within the Sith, even personal connections were tools. All of these experiences at the Academy hardened Bane, but more importantly, they clarified his vision. He realized that the Sith's obsession with internal rivalries was a weakness, not a strength. True power required direction, not endless infighting. The Sith Code wasn't about destroying your peers for scraps, it was about growing stronger until you alone embodied victory. What's interesting is how much this mirrors, in an inverted way, the Jedi Temple. The Jedi trained their younglings in discipline, unity, and detachment, whereas the Sith Academy trained through cruelty, rivalry, and betrayal. Both systems stripped away individuality in different ways. The Jedi created servants of order, while the Sith created tools of chaos. Bane saw that neither system was sustainable, but unlike the Jedi, he embraced conflict as the crucible of strength. By the time Bane left Korriban, He wasn't just stronger in lightsaber combat or more skilled in the dark side. He was convinced the entire Brotherhood system was rotten. The Academy had shown him firsthand how short-sighted the Sith had become. They weren't true heirs of the dark side. They were pretenders, clinging to a distorted version of power. That's why when Bane later breaks away, rejects Khan's Brotherhood, and embraces Revan's teachings, it feels inevitable. The Academy didn't make him a Sith in the Brotherhood's image, it revealed why that image had to be destroyed. And when you look at the prequels, there's an echo of this philosophy in Sidious's treatment of his apprentices. He didn't create an academy of Sith, he had Dooku, then Vader, one apprentice at a time, forged through struggle. It's a direct continuation of the vision that Bane crystallized after his time on Korriban. The Sith Academy gave Bane the raw materials of training, combat, and survival, but more importantly, it gave him clarity. He saw that the Brotherhood's obsession with equality and numbers was a betrayal of the code. True Sith strength wasn't found in academies or armies, it was found in the rule of two, a master and an apprentice, locked in a cycle of conflict that would eventually give birth to Sidious, Vader, and the fall of the Jedi. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Until then, remember the Force will be with you, always.